And greetings, friends. Here we are for another 15-minute AMA. I'm going to give a couple minutes for everyone to come in. Look how nicely this frame is framed. Anyway, I'm going to give a couple minutes for people to roll on in, make their way here. Once you are here, make sure to shout us out like Gianna just did, like Sophie just did. Oh, so good to see everyone. So exciting. So exciting. Savannah Banana is back. Shout out Savannah Banana! All right, here we go. People are starting to roll in. People are starting to come in. Give some shout outs here. Let's see. Ian is here. Lawrence is here. Tinaye is here. What's Wrong With Me is back. Daniel's here. Olivia, good to see you again. Brooklyn, good to see you. Daniel, Caroline, Maddie, good to see you again. What's up? Georgia, hello. Daniel from Peru. Shouts to Peru. Big shouts to Peru. Oh, so good to see you all. Yes, JCD forever. Good to see you. Some guy who arts. That's an amazing, amazing name. Oh, this is awesome. Let me know where you're at right now, actually. Just like, sorry, something caught in my mouth. Just like, you know, you would shout me out in the chat. Let me know, like, where you're watching from. And I don't necessarily mean, like, where in the country, but, like, I'm watching from science class. I'm watching from work. I'm sitting in my bed. I'm doing laundry. Let me know, what are you doing while you watch this? You're at school. That's amazing. Sweden, shouts to Sweden. Yeah, let me know, like, home, you're at home, Ian's at home, which is great. Amanda's at work, yeah, girl. In bed, that's perfect, amazing. People are just like chilling, relaxing in their bed. I imagine some of you maybe just waking up or maybe about to go to sleep. Eric is doing push-ups. That's a great thing to do while watching this. I was playing guitar, watching from my living room, in the bathroom. That's a little weird, but hey, good for you. That's amazing. Earth, great, on my couch, feeding the baby. That's amazing. Working on graphics, eating in the car. I hope you're not driving, or at least maybe just listen while you're driving. Anyway, all right, so before we get started today, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have shown up once again for another 15-minute AMA, which for those of you who don't know, AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. I am here to answer your questions, and I'm hoping that in the next 15 minutes or so, I can encourage you all. I can perhaps provide you with some value, encourage you, answer some questions, motivate you, weigh in on stuff that perhaps you've been struggling with, pray for you, whatever it is that you need, I am here for you today. Before we get started, I do want to let you all know once again that the Super Chat feature is available in many countries. Not in all, but in many. For those of you who don't know, right down here, right under where it says say something, where you would type into chat, there's a little dollar symbol for some of you. And what that is that is a Super Chat. And what a Super Chat is, it allows you to give $1, $2, $5, $20, $100, however you feel led, allows you to give a certain amount of money, and what it does two things. It highlights your comment or your question, so it guarantees that I see it, and it will guarantee that I will answer it. I will answer every Super Chat question for sure. But more than that, really what it is it's a thank you. If this ministry, if these videos, or if these live streams have touched you or encouraged you in any sort of way, and you perhaps want to help give back to help this ministry continue to go and continue to grow, I highly encourage you to engage in a Super Chat. Every dollar counts, every dollar matters, every dollar helps. And so if you're able to do that today, that feature is available, and perhaps you have a little pocket change to throw in the Super Chat, just $1, $5, $10, whatever it is for you today, it would mean so much to me. All right, now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, I want to answer some questions. All right, let's see. Sophie says, can you pray for my Christian dance group? We're doing a dance dedicated to the cross, and we want to get the message of Christ out. Absolutely. I will be praying for you all. I'll be praying that God uses your dance as a way to point to Him, as a way to glorify Him. I think it's amazing that you all are using the gifts and talents that God has given you to glorify Him, especially in the realm of art and creativity and dance. I think that's so cool. That's what I try and do through this channel, so I'm so glad that we are partners in that way. That is really, really cool. All right, here we go. What's Wrong With Me says, John, are you working on camp dates for next year yet, how do I contact you? You can just send me an email. I'm going to throw my email in the chat right now if you want to contact me about anything, whether that's, questions, whether that's, if you want to invite me somewhere to speak, whether it's to a camp or to your church. I'll throw my email in the chat right now. Here it comes. Alrighty. What else do we got? Hold on, my chat, my thing is freezing. Is it freezing for anyone else? It's freezing on my computer, but I think we're good now. I think we're good. All right, let's see. Lawrence asks, what to do if you are spiritually dead or drained? Lawrence, that's a great question. I myself have felt that way many, many times in my life. And usually what I'll do when I'm feeling spiritually dead or spiritually drained is I'll do one of two things. Either I will change things up. Perhaps oftentimes when we're feeling drained in any relationship, not just in a relationship with God, it's because things have grown stale. It's because we've gotten into sort of stuck in a routine and we're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's just become lifeless. That can happen in a marriage, that can happen in a friendship, and that can also happen in our relationship with God. And so the first thing that I might try and do is I might try and change things up. If you're consistently reading your Bible at the same time of day in the same place, or whatever it might be, change it up. Perhaps try reading in a different spot. Try praying in a different way. Maybe go to a different church just one Sunday. Maybe start a new thing, like start a new small group. I would say perhaps change it up a little bit. But then the other thing that I will often try is I will often try to get back to basics. Oftentimes what can happen is we say that, we're feeling spiritually drained or spiritually dead, but that's because we're not actually investing in that relationship. If we look back, we realize, oh man, it's been so long since I actually had an intentional time of prayer. It's been so long since I just took an hour and just worshiped God and spent time with God. And so what I would say is maybe it's time to get back to basics and get back to committing myself to, I am going to study God's word every day. Someone in the Saria just said, my relationship with God doesn't seem good enough. And I think that's the beauty about a relationship with God, Saria, is that we don't have to be good enough. In fact, none of us are good enough in order to earn a relationship with God. But the amazing scandal that is God's love and grace is he says, even though you are not worthy of this, even though you are not good enough, the creator of the universe still wants to have that relationship with you, Saria. He still wants you to talk to him, even though it might be imperfect. And so I hope that encourages you all today. I hope so. All right, let's get to another question. All right, so Chloe asks, what are your views on listening to secular music? I have a couple videos on this, so actually, Chloe, if you want to search into YouTube, John Jorgensen secular music or John Jorgensen secular media, you can definitely find out much better thoughts than I would be able to give you right now. Some guy who arts, a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. That is just amazing. $2 super chat. Hello. Pray for my YouTube channel to show Jesus to all. All right. Yes, we're all going to pray for your YouTube channel, some guy who arts. However, everyone who's in the chat right now, can we go and show some love to some guy who arts YouTube channel? Can we just go there and can we perhaps subscribe to him? Or her, I'm guessing guy, some guy who arts, so him. Let's go there now, and let's go to that. I'm doing it right now. I am going to his channel, and I am clicking subscribe. Boom! You just got yourself your 17th subscriber. Everyone else, let's go and show some love to a Christian artist who is out there who is trying to use this platform in order to make the name of Jesus known. I think that's awesome, and I want to support you. That's incredible. All right. We are back. Thank you once again for the super chat. Those $2, look at that. Look at that. People are saying they subscribe. That's amazing. Those $2, just to give you an idea, a $2 super chat from a financial perspective supports this ministry as much as if you had watched 1,000 of my videos. 1,000 of them. And so thank you so much for those $2. And I hope you're getting that influx of subscribers right now. You're getting them. So now you got to serve them. Now you got to serve them well, serve that community well, because we love you and we want to support you, but you're going to have to give us good, excellent, Christ-centered stuff. That's amazing. Thank you all for showing love to that guy who arts. That's so cool. That's so cool. All right. What else do we got? All right. All right. KS. Hey, John, what encouragement do you have for those of us waiting for marriage for physical intimacy? That's a great question. There are so many directions I could go with this, but I think the first thing that comes to mind is perhaps this. And this isn't the most joyful route to go down, but more of a cautionary word to you. I completely understand and have empathy for anyone and everyone who desires physical intimacy before perhaps they are married. And by the way, I think there are opportunities for us to experience certain types of physical intimacy, whether it's just a hug with a family member or whatever, or, you know, a friend or whatever that might be. There are certain types, but in terms of that sexual attraction and that sexual desire, I'm telling you that each and every one of us, we long for that. We long to experience that. And many of us struggle with seeking that out before the right time, which I believe that God has designed us, that the right time would be within the bonds of a covenant marriage. Now, to give a bit of a cautionary word and and on the other side, an encouragement, if you go too far, if you continue to push those bounds, those physical bounds, before you are married, especially with someone who you are not going to be married to, you will pay the price for that in your marriage. Now, exactly where that line is for you, I'm not here to tell you whether it's okay to hold hands or kiss before you're married or this or that. I think the Bible is pretty clear on certain things, but I'm not here to tell you where exactly to draw your physical lines. I don't think that's my job. However, I do want to caution you that if you continue to push those physical boundaries within a dating relationship or before it is time perhaps for you to be married, you will pay the price for it in your marriage. You will see the effect that it has on your spouse and how it hurts them, and it's a break of trust perhaps. And so what the other side of that, the encouragement, is by waiting, by saving yourself for marriage, by not awakening and allowing those desires to sort of come forth in a dating relationship before it's time in marriage, what you're actually doing is you are protecting the heart of your future spouse. And right now, you are actually laying the foundation for a strong marriage. You are removing walls that would otherwise have existed. And so know that by resisting that temptation right now, or by saying no when it is time to say no, what you're actually doing is you are setting an incredibly strong foundation for your future husband or wife. And so I just hope that encourages somebody to know that it is worth it. It is worth it to fight that fight. It is worth it to wait. I truly, truly do believe that. All right, what else do we got? My laptop is just being all kinds of awful. So let's get into I'm filming this on my phone, and I'm looking at the chat on my laptop, but my laptop is just deciding to be terrible all of a sudden. So let's see what else is in the chat. Yesu says, how to heal after a breakup. You know, I think each person is designed differently, but one thing that I would highly recommend is do not try to heal on your own. Because chances are, if you're just trying to heal from it on your own and just by yourself in your room, yeah, you might need some time by yourself to cry or whatever you need to do, but don't try and do it all on your own. Because if that happens, if you're like me, you will turn to destructive behavior, or you will just turn back to that person. And maybe you're the one who even broke up with them, and you're the one who wanted it to end, and because you knew it was the right thing. Guess what? If you just stay on your own, you're going to end up turning back to that person in an unhealthy way. I always say that breaking up is easy. Staying broken up is what's really hard. It's really easy in a minute to say to someone, hey, I don't think this is right anymore. We should break up. It's really hard 2 days later when you really, really miss that person and all you want is just to be with them again, but you still know it's not the right thing. It's really hard to have the discipline to stay broken up. It's easier to do that when you have surrounded yourself with people who love you, when you have surrounded yourself with people who are going to keep you accountable. And I would say, so to anyone who's going through a breakup, just dive into community. dive into community, lean on those people. I highly recommend that. Mickey Hall says, is there any books you recommend? Yeah, I recommend a lot of books. One that I read recently, I read Ready Player One recently. Well, I listened to it. I highly recommend that book. That book is unbelievable. A lot better than the movie, by the way. And then in terms of, perhaps nonfiction or Christian books, I would recommend, I'm going to recommend a good nonfiction Christian book that's actually in the Bible that I'm going through right now. Someone read 1 John. I'm going through 1 John right now, and it's just blowing my mind. And so I would highly recommend that you all check out 1 John. All right, let's see. What else do we got? My laptop is still terrible, so we're going to look at, see what else we can get. Let's see. Priya asks, can you please do a Bible study on Genesis? That is definitely on my mind. I want to promise you we're getting closer. For those of you who follow ADITW, we're getting closer to the end of our Ecclesiastes studies, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to move on to our next book as well. All right. For some reason, my laptop is still awful, but let's see. I'll answer maybe one more question today. One more. What else we got? All right, here we go. All right, this is a great one. I'm so sorry. Sai Mendez Ibarra asks, how can you accept the forgiveness of God when you feel like you can't forgive yourself? This is a great question, and I think something we all struggle with, because I think we've all done something at one point or another where we just feel unworthy of that forgiveness. And to be honest, that's probably true. We all have sinned. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That's what the Bible teaches. And so therefore, none of us necessarily deserve to be forgiven. That's just the truth of it. But once again, the beauty and the scandal of God's love and grace is that even though we don't deserve forgiveness, He gives us that forgiveness. And when we refuse to accept it, what we're actually communicating to God is, your forgiveness isn't strong enough. Your grace isn't strong enough to cover over what I have done. In fact, God, what we're saying is, God, I don't believe that you are powerful enough. I don't believe that you are good enough for your good to outweigh my bad. I don't believe that you are strong enough for your mercy to outweigh my sin. And so really, that is a lack of faith, actually. It's not what we think it is we think it's a lack of self-esteem, or it's self-hatred, or it's this, or it's that. But really what's going on there is a lack of faith. We don't believe that God is powerful enough and that His grace is good enough to actually cover over our sin or our transgression, when we refuse to forgive ourselves the way that God has already forgiven us. And so God's grace and His forgiveness, it is there, it is available. And even though we don't deserve it, it is up to us to accept it because it's there for us. All right, friends, that is all I have for you today. That's all the time I have. I have to get going, but I so appreciate you all tuning in. I hope this provided you with some encouragement. I hope it provided you with some value. I hope it perhaps strengthened your faith today. I love all of your questions, and I'm praying for you. I really am. Yeah, that's really all. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back hopefully maybe tomorrow at some point. If not, I hope you all just have a great rest of your week. I love you all. Keep being awesome.